Is Infraloka AI Usage Maturity Assessment, turning experimentation into responsible, measurable, and repeatable value. So, what does this mean? Yeah. This presentation changed the question we asked about AI. Instead of asking, are people using AI? It asks, is AI producing consistent, responsible, and measurable value? That shift moves the conversation from tool adoption to real capability. So why does it matter? Many organizations move quickly from experimentation to purchasing tools without proving that work has improved. This assessment helps individuals and organizations see where they really are, choose a sensible ambition, and decide what to strengthen next. Think of it this way: owning a fitness app doesn't make someone healthy. Habits, outcomes, and the ability to sustain them do. AI maturity works the same way. Key takeaway: AI maturity means measurable value, responsible use, and repeatable performance. Presenter Q. Okay, today we are not counting how many AI tools we own. We are looking at whether AI works reliably for our people and our organization. And then maybe to ask, is AI in your organization still mostly experimental, or has it become a dependable capability? So that's why we are using the AI usage maturity assessment. The next one, activity is easy to count, but it doesn't prove maturity. So what does this mean? Tool access, user counts, training sessions, and pilot numbers fit neatly on dashboard, but they measure activity. Maturity appears only when an organization can demonstrate value, quality, control, and repeatable outcomes. Okay? Because why does it matter? When activity is mistaken for progress, an investment can look successful before its benefits are clear. That encourage organizations to scale usage without understanding risk, cost, or the real effect on work. A simple example, training 100 employees is positive. Stronger evidence is showing that a cycle time fell, quality remains stable, and important errors did not increase. Key takeaway: measure change outcomes, not just busy adoption. Adoption is an input. Maturity is the ability to deliver quality outcomes responsibly and repeatedly. So maybe we'll ask, which AI metrics do you report most often? Does it genuinely prove value? So this people and the enterprise must progress together. What does this mean? AI maturity has two distinct but connected tracks. Individuals need literacy, task design, verification, workflow integration, stewardship. Leadership organization needs strategy, governance, people, portfolio management, platforms, responsible AI, operations, and measurements. So why does it matter? Actually, a highly skilled team remains exposed without boundaries and accountability. Strong policy creates little value if people cannot redesign their work. Whichever track is weaker becomes the binding constraint. Picture a tandem bicycle. One rider may be incredibly strong, but the journey is still unstable if the other rider cannot pedal or doesn't know the direction. Key takeaway: do not blend individual capability and organizational readiness into one score that hides the real problem. We need to assess two engines at the same time: human capability and organization capability. So maybe you will ask, is your biggest constraint today A people capability gap or enterprise system gap? Okay. This one. 5 level describe the journey from awareness to adaptation. Okay. What does it mean? Level 1 is recognition. Level 2 is introduce bounded assisted use. Level 3 turns successful practices into repeatable work. Level 4 scales those practices and their value. Level 5 add continuous learning, assurance, and renewal. Why does it matter? The highest level is not automatically the right target for every task. Low consequence work may be well served at a middle level, while high impact decisions require stronger evidence, control, and monitoring. Think of a staircase. We do not climb simply to look higher. We move up because the previous step is secure and business generally needs the next capability. Maturity is proven progression, not a prestige level. Our goal is not level 5 everywhere. Our goal is the right level for the value and risk of the work. Which area deserves to move up one level in the next 12 months and which area can stay where it is? So, this one. Prompting skill alone is not enough. What does this mean? A mature AI user does more than ask for polished answers. They understand capability and limits, design tasks clearly, verify output, and integrate AI to workflow, protect data and ethics, helps others make better decisions. Why does it matter? An answer can sound convincing and still be wrong. Verification stewardship are therefore critical gates, especially when work affects customers' money, safety, law, or reputation. A simple example, someone who produces a document quickly is not necessarily mature. Someone who can explain sources, test assumptions, protect data, and know when human judgment is required is much better prepared. Guys, strong ability combines productivity, judgment, and responsibility. So the next one is enterprise maturity depends on 8 connected capabilities with governance at the core. So, what does this mean? A mature enterprise connects that capabilities. Why does it matter? One weak capability can reduce the value of the whole system. Strategy without metrics becomes a slogan. A platform without governance expands exposure. Policy without operations remains a document. Picture an orchestra. Excellent instruments that do not create great music. Without a score, a conductor, or a shared tempo and a way to hear whether the result is tuned. AI is not a single technology project, it's cross-functional enterprise capability. We are not buying one machine, we are building a system that connects business choices, people, technology, control, and outcomes. Which of the 8 capabilities is strongest and which is most likely to block scale? So, yeah, that one, right? A maturity score is only strong as its evidence. A Class A evidence comes from demonstrations, tests, logs, or outcomes. Class B evidence use artifacts confirmed by the second source. Class C is evidence. Is still an assertion, intention, or perception. Each can help, but they do not carry equal weight. Why does it matter? Confidence and competence are not the same thing. A questionnaire can start the conversation, but important decisions require triangulation and observation. The higher the maturity claim, the stronger the evidence must be. Think about driving license. Saying you can drive is different from showing a training certificate, and both are still different from passing a practical road test. So, this is a critical gates cap maturity before the composite score reaches the boardroom. So, what does it mean? A composite score can look strong even when one serious weakness remains. Safety, verification, and ownership, inventory, measured outcomes, and continuous monitoring therefore act as gates that cap the final level. Why does it matter? A healthy average doesn't remove high impact risks. If nobody owns the system, usage is not inventoried, or outcomes are never measured, the organization is not ready to claim mature scale. A simple example, a car is not considered safe because 9 out of 10 components are excellent. When it breaks, fails, critical components have veto power. Key takeaway, critical weakness should trigger remediation, not hidden by an average. Okay, so the diagnostic identifies binding constraint and therefore the right management move. What does this mean? The matrix compares adoption and workflow capability with enterprise control. It produces 4 patterns: fragmented, and early, enthusiastically but exposed, governed but stagnant, or adaptive. Okay. Each pattern different response. Think of a location map. Useful map does more than show the destination. It shows your current position, so you do not choose the wrong route. So the first 90 days should establish control, baseline evidence, and 2 or 3 proof points. So it's like, this is the way, guys. Day 0 to day 90. The principle is simple. Do not launch 100 experiments without a compass. Choose a few that matters, measure them seriously, and learn quickly. This is the 12-month roadmaps. The annual journey moves from visibility to adaptation. The first stage makes AI use visible and bounded. The second, establish owners, workflows, and metrics. The third, scales proven patterns through reuse and process design. The fourth, builds continuous monitoring, assurance, and learning. Think about building a city. You do not start with the tallest tower. You make sure roads, rules, and utilities and public services can support growth. Okay, this is the assessment combines perspectives that are often discussed separately. My individual literacy, AI, management risk, ethics, and organizational accountability. Key reference include me, Rahmat Wibowo's framework, NIST AI, RMF, ISO, IEC 42001, 23894, and the EU AIX, and UNESCO's ethics communication and AI literacy research. So reference are not academic decorations. They show that definitions and controls and evidence expectations have a traceability foundation. So the final one, leadership must align ambition, evidence, and control before scaling AI. So you need to decide the target maturity and scope, authorize the evidence-led 90 days baseline, and find the weakest constraint before expanding the portfolio. So okay, that's it, guys. That's the Infraloka AI maturity level assessment framework. So okay, stay tuned for the other interesting thing. So if you are building things and want to adopt AI, just ping me a DM